welcome to Cheers to You. I am Daisy, and I remember talking to you about making my delicious cocktail that I named American Whiskey Pie. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to make it. It is using the beautiful bourbon, Four Roses, and I also used cinnamon. Now, I don't care if it's cinnamon powder or an actual cinnamon stick. I prefer my cinnamon stick, but if you don't have one, cinnamon powder works just as good anyway. And I also put a little bit of fresh lemon juice. Now, if you don't have fresh lemon, that's okay. You can also get one of those bottled concentrated lemon bottles as well, which I happen to have one. So something like this works just as good, okay guys? And then I used honey as well. Now, I didn't actually use just traditional honey like this. I actually made my own honey syrup, which is right here, okay? Very simple to make, guys, not hard at all. Actually, I make most of my syrups when I'm making cocktails. That being said, easy. You take half a cup or a cup of hot water, water, and boil it. And then you go ahead and add your tablespoons of honey, depending on how sweet you want it. I particularly added 3 tablespoons of honey to my syrup per 1 cup. And I just waited until it all dissolved beautifully, and then I put it into my container and just refrigerate it or let it just cool. And then you can add it to anything you pretty much want. You can add it to desserts, your cocktails, as a sweetener, you know, if you're making like iced tea, you can add it to that. So it's really nice to have some fresh syrups at hand if you want to prefer that. And I also have some orange bitters. Now, you don't have to buy this or have that at home, but if you do, it's actually really, really good. That being said, but if you don't, an orange will do as well. I do have that, okay? Can't go wrong there. And it's just to bring out those flavors of that delicious bourbon that we're about to enjoy right now. So let's get to it. All right. So first, we're gonna go ahead and start with our shaker. Now, if you don't have a shaker, I suggest you go ahead and invest in one. If you wanna make some delicious cocktails at home and you don't wanna spend like $20 to $15 per cocktail, depending on where you're hanging out. Very cheap, very reasonable. You can pick them up at Walmart. You can pick it up at, you know, TJ Maxx. I actually got mine for like $12. This one's actually really nice because it does have the separation with the strainer in it, so you don't have to have an actual strainer to enjoy and pour the cocktails into your drinks. So I would suggest you get one like that. Most of them have it, but you know, you never know. And then that being said, I will be using a Collins glass to put my drink into. You don't want anything too tall, or you know, you don't want to make a martini out of it. I mean, you can. I mean, it's a matter of preference of what you want. I didn't, and then I actually garnished mine with a apple, okay? Just a little bit of cinnamon powder on top just to give it a nice presentation. Delicious, can't go wrong there. So let's get to it. So first things first, I'm gonna go ahead and build my cocktail. So I'm gonna grab my pint glass so you can kind of go through it with me as well. So first thing I'm gonna do is get my bourbon, okay? I'm gonna add 2 ounces of bourbon. Now, if you don't have a measuring ounce thing, you can do it with one of those measuring things for like baking and kind of go from there. I suggest you get one. It makes it a lot easier. It's funner when you're entertaining, or just to get the precise measurements for the actual cocktail. So 2 ounces is gonna be the bigger one. So let's go ahead and pour that in. Am I a bartender? No, I'm not. But do I enjoy a damn good cocktail? Yes, yes I do. So I make them at home because sometimes I think mine could turn out a lot better than some of the places I go to. I mean, you know, it's just a matter of preference and what you like. Everybody has a little bit of tweak that they do to their own cocktails, and so do I. Sometimes I'm like, you know what, if they just would have added this, probably would have tasted a little bit better, or it's just too strong. You know, I like to enjoy all the components that go into making the cocktail. You should be able to have them all blend in and be able to taste every characteristic that whoever, you know, created this cocktail for you to enjoy. You know, so if it's like a mojito, you should be able to taste the mint, the sweetness of the syrup, just a little bit, not too much. You know, the club soda, and you know, the rum that just actually has just a slight sweetness of molasses in it. You should be able to enjoy all those components evenly, in my opinion, but to each his own, right? So after you do your bourbon, you're gonna add your apple juice. Any apple juice is fine. Doesn't have to be organic. It doesn't have to be a crazy, you know, brand. This is Smith's brand, nothing out of the ordinary. You can pick it up anywhere. That's what I have. So you'd put the same amount, 2 ounces. So let's go ahead and add that. Boom, 2 ounces, done. All right, so my next thing is gonna be my homemade honey syrup. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up and add it in. So I'm only gonna do a 1 ounce pour just because I don't want it to be too sweet. I mean, with the apple juice, the bourbon, you know, and then the honey syrup, it's already gonna be pretty sugary. So you don't want it to be overwhelmingly sweet. So I'm only gonna do 1 ounce of the honey syrup and put that in. All right. Next is gonna be your lemon juice. So I'm just gonna squeeze just a couple squeezes in here, nothing crazy, just a little bit just to give it, cut through that sweetness of the cocktail. Boom, done. Not a lot, you know, it's probably a couple squeezes of lemon, depending on how strong you are. If you're a guy, you might wanna just do a 1. If you're a girl, you might wanna do a couple, depending on who you are, you know? I don't know. That being said, we're gonna add your cinnamon. So I'm gonna add my fresh cinnamon stick, okay? So let's go ahead and add that. Now, if you don't have a grinder, that's okay. You can actually use a cheese grinder too, if you have one with all the 4 cheese grinder settings on it. This particular one is actually for chocolate, believe it or not. And if you like to cook at home, most likely you'll have one. If you don't have one, like I said, cinnamon powder works just as good. You don't need anything fancy. All right, so that should do it, just to give that aroma of the cinnamon and kind of get those characteristics working in there. So we're gonna add our ice to kind of get it broken down and mixed well. Okay, let's do that. Perfect. Now we're gonna go ahead and put our Collins glass in here. And let's go ahead and shake it up. Now everybody has a different shake. This is mine. All right. Jesus Christ, it's a lot harder than what I thought. There we go. So don't knock your bartenders, guys. It's not that easy to pop these puppies out. It does get stuck sometimes. Like I said, I'm not a bartender, but I do enjoy a good cocktail. So let's go ahead and pour this delicious American Pie over and see how we did. Like I said, if you don't have a strainer, you can always use the one that comes with your actual Boston mixer. I do, so let's go ahead and pour this over. Boom, done, beautiful. Cheers to you. Let's taste. Oh, man, genius, right? Well, in my opinion. You let me know what you think. All right, I would love to hear it from the comments below. If you wanted to add something, if you did something different, if you have a cocktail that you want to share with me, I'm all ears, guys. Leave it in the comments below and remember to subscribe. Thanks for watching and cheers to you.